Hi, I'm Deborah. I'm a wedding officiant and relationship coach with Garden of Eden. And today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 background checks before commitment. So, what do I mean by the 5 background checks before commitment? Exactly the way it sounds. We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into some verses. The reason that I want to teach this to you today is because before you get into a very committed relationship, I want you to use some wisdom, some knowledge. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to teach you why I'm calling it what I'm calling it. So we're going to go first into Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24. So let's just dive in really quickly there. And it reads like this: Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. So, with this verse, I want you to get an understanding that if humans can ask God to search them, and if that there is anything offensive, that if He could take it away, you know, that is transparency with God. And so God knows everything, but we don't. Sometimes people have motives or intentions that are a little more secretive. But when you're going to get into a commitment, you do want transparency from your partner. And so this is a really good way of just growing into a mature, committed relationship of getting to know each other. So again, you can't hide anything from God. So if you think you can hide from your partner, it's only going to go so far. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you another verse that we're going to use in this study. And we're going to jump over to 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. And it reads like this: But the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And so here you're going to learn that when it comes to knowing your partner, you cannot hide. When you're doing a job application, employers ask to do a background check. When you're wanting to go to a certain school, they're doing a background check. So why can't we do background checks on our partners? I mean, these are individuals that we're either sharing our lives with, or we're going to open our homes to, or even share our body with. And so I feel like I'm going to give you some tips as far as to how to be more transparent with your partner. So we're going to go ahead and let's dive in. 5 background. Okay. And so the very first one is going to be personal. Now, what does that mean? So the personal background check, this is exactly what it is. So you're talking about the actual background checks that the employers actually do, where they use the free county records that you can find online, things of that nature. And the reason that this is a little bit important, it is a little controversial. I think some people might say as to why are we doing a background check on someone, if you're dating them. But as I mentioned earlier, if an employer can do it, if a school can do it, I mean, why not a partner? I mean, this is somebody that you're planning on either committing the rest of your life with, or you're making a big decision in life with this person. So a doing just a small little personal background check, it'll let you know if the person is either hiding something or maybe something that just gives a little bit of for them to encourage them to give some more disclosure. And the reason that you want to do a personal background check is because this will display their behavioral patterns. Okay. So, for example, let's just say you meet somebody who has a record of drug abuse or something like that. Then you're knowing that their behavioral patterns, tends to that they have this little bit of a drug abuse problem. If they didn't disclose it, by you doing a county records check, a free one, then you're able to see that, and that's something that you can then just bring up to their attention. Now, before we get into more depth, I do want to say this little disclosure as far as do not judge a book by its cover. Obviously, some people have done some stuff in their past, perhaps they're already repented of, and then they're going to go ahead and they're living a new lifestyle, or they're no longer involved in anything in the history. But this is a good thing. This is a good thing to do. And I'm going to talk about just really, I don't have the names down, but there was a case on here in my area where a young lady had married an individual who, I don't know if she did or if she didn't know, but he had previously been incarcerated for murder. Well, as the years passed by, it ended up happening to her. He ended up murdering her. So here was this single mom who got involved in this relationship. And maybe if she would have just done a free county records check, maybe that would have helped her in making a little wiser decision about, is this really an individual that I want to be with? Just to help in that decision-making process. So unfortunately for her story, the child was left without a mother. So again, this is to help talk about disclosure, about disclosing information. Another background check is the financial background check. Now, we know that some entities will do a record check on their finances, and obviously you do need permission from the partner to be able to do something like that. But this displays their spending patterns. And so and nobody's perfect, but if somebody has a credit card problem, like, these are things before you go into a commitment. These are things you want to talk about as far as to, what your life goals are. You want to buy a house together? Do you want to, how do you all want to establish your credit? Things of that nature. So if somebody's willing to disclose their financial background, that gives you a little bit more of that safety, security net, knowing that the person that you're with understands the importance of money. And so this is really good also, like, for women who are doing the background check on the man, because as the leader of their home, they've got to make wiser financial decisions. Number 3, and this one would be your physical. Now, obviously we're not doctors, most of us, and this can be, it's a little touchy subject here, but let's just be real. This is going to display their sexual patterns. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because nowadays people can get free STD exams. And somebody might say, whoa, Deborah, like, you're going a little bit deeper here, but let's be honest. This is a person that you're sharing your body with. This is somebody that you are trusting, that you're going to be exchanging fluids with. So, let's not call this taboo. Let's call it for what it is. You're going to be sharing your body with this person, then go ahead and bring it up as a topic. You know what? There's free exams out there. Are you comfortable taking a test? And because also it lets you know that if somebody is being very sexually active, is that really the person that you want to, obtain as your long-term commitment partner? These are, again, this raises up the questions. This brings up conversations, and that's where you want to get at. And so this is something that we shouldn't shy away or call taboo. Number 4, it's called the mental. Now, what kind of exams or what kind of background checks? Well, this just has to do with their decision-making patterns. Okay, you wanna ask questions. You wanna have conversations with your partner that they're able to see how is their maturity level. Are they able to handle some hardcore questions? Are you able to have logic conversations? Is this person somebody that you can discuss harder conversations with? I mean, the more you ask, the more you're getting to know this person. It lets you know where their level of in the commitment. Are they truly mature enough for a committed relationship? So just testing out their decision-making skills, that's going to be helpful for the long run. And last but not least, it's going to be the spiritual. And this is a spiritual background. This is going to let you know their relational patterns. Right here. And the reason that you want to do a spiritual background, you want to know, are they involved in church? How is their Bible reading? Do they believe in God? Are they involved in ministry? Things of that nature, because we're made up of the physical, we're made up of the mental, but we're also made up of the spiritual. So we want to know, how are we on the same page when it comes to religion? Are we on the same page when it comes to our relationship with God? Are we on the same page? And so these, again, are topics. These are a little bit of the background checks that you can do to your partner that you're, obviously, if you just met, they might think, whoa, okay, this is like getting very serious very fast. But this is prior to a real commitment. This is prior to asking them to move into your house. This is prior to asking them to marry you. These are the real conversations that you want to have with your partner before making that long-term commitment decision. So I hope you enjoyed this topic. If you've got any questions, feel free, leave a comment. Again, I'm Deborah. I am a relationship coach with Garden of Eden, and we're here to help you find true love. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share this page.